Good day everybody, and welcome to the channel. For this project I had a design for a hall table that I wanted to try out for a while now, so I decided to get up and going. So the first step, as always with all the projects, is basically taking all the pieces of wood from the supplier and then basically making it straight and square and untwisted as possible. So here I'm busy with one of the top pieces. As you can see here, I'm basically taking out a high spot in the middle of the plank so that it can be nice and straight. After a face has been flattened and untwisted, it's basically time to create another face that's 90 degrees with the flattened face as a reference. With the 90-degree face done, it's basically now to mark out the other side of the plank to make sure that it's exactly the same width on all sides. This is a piece of partridge wood that I'm going to use as an inlay for the top part of the hall table. The reason for doing this is basically to make the joint lines between the different pieces much more smoother and much more beautiful. Finally, after all the parts have been flattened and dimensioned, it's now time to glue up the top side of the hall table. After the glue up, it's now time to square all the edges of each piece. This will also be for the two side leg pieces that I've made off camera. Here, I'm busy chopping out a mortise from one of the leg pieces. This will basically be joined to the top part of the hall table. The last step is basically to chop out the tenon into 3 pieces. This will make it much easier for the design at the end of the day to join with the tabletop, and it will give it much more flexibility when the fitting occurs. With the tenons completed on each leg, it's now time to chop out the equivalent mortises in the underside of the tabletop. This is where the table legs will join at the end of the day and make a secure fitting. These are going to be some of the pieces that's going to be for the drawers. They're going to be fitted underneath the tabletop between the 2 leg pieces at the end of the day. It's going to be basically an inverted podium. I decided for this design that the side pieces of the podium is basically going to be at the bottom going to be dovetails, and at the top where it meets the board it's going to be again mortise and tenon joints. So here I'm busy chopping out the waste pieces between each dovetails. So, after a bit of work, here are the main pieces for the podium that's going to be underneath the tabletop. The podium pieces are first going to be glued together before I glue up the main table. This will make the fitting at the end of the day much easier than trying to glue everything together at one go. To add more strength to the mortise and tenon joints of the podium, I decided also to put in a wedge between each piece. So this, together with the glue, will ensure that it will never go out. Excuse the black nails, my child had a fun weekend with my hands. I decided to add some molding decorations to the tabletop as well as to the front of the feet, just to give it something else. With the moldings done, it's basically time to chamfer all the edges so it doesn't leave a harsh finish. These are the bottoms of each leg. I'm basically adding a hollow so that it won't rock all over the floor and will be easy to adjust for if the floor is uneven at the end of the day. I decided I want to add some decorations at the back of the table on the legs, especially where it meets the tabletop as well as where the leg meets the floor. So here I'm cutting out some pieces that I want to glue to the legs. So here are the 4 pieces that I'm going to glue to the legs. Time to drill some holes where the decorations are going to be fitted, and then using pegs and glue. So finally, with all of that done, it's time to assemble the whole table as one unit, as you can see here. There is only one thing missing, and that is basically a back brace for the legs, so over time that they won't split open due to the load. So here I'm busy making one. It's going to be a dovetail that's fitted at the back. This is a pairing step that I'm doing now. This is just to ensure that when the dovetail is fitted into its socket, it will have a nice and elegant finish. And with that said, time to glue in the back brace. For each drawer, I'm adding these sticks at the back This will enable me to glue in panels later on to enclose it. And here are the back panels glued in, as well as the supporting battens also added. And finally, as one last step for the table itself, it's basically to add a nice blend of Danish oil. After the Danish oil dried, I also added several layers of polyurethane to basically make the tabletop more robust. And that's the main table done. In the next part, I'm going to make the drawers to finish up the whole project. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!